I'm Beth, and I heard about Rice's heating and air conditioning a very long time ago when we first moved into this area. We bought an older home, and it came with an older furnace that made a banging noise whenever it came on. Didn't know anybody in town, and I honestly can't remember who told me about Calvin Rice's heating company, but we called him. And what I couldn't believe was how quickly he came out and how nice he was. And he fixed the banging with no problem. So whenever we had an issue with the heater or the furnace, we would call Calvin. The thing I really, really like about Rice's is number one, service. For me, whoever I pay for a service, what I want is really good service. That what they do solves the problem, and we can go on with life. And that has always happened with Rice's. I can't think of even one time when we had to call them back on something they've done. And we've seen them now for some 35 plus years. It came time that the furnace died, and Calvin told us we'd need a new one, and he guided us through buying a new one, and he put it in. And, you know, it was a good company, and Calvin hadn't had trouble with any of those furnaces, but this particular one was kind of a lemon, and it wouldn't come on at various times when we needed it to. And Calvin would come out or send somebody out from his company, and they would get it right back on, but it was annoying. And after about 3 or 4 times of that, I was really impressed because Calvin said, you know, we just need to replace this furnace. It's not okay. And he did the whole thing for free. He totally replaced the furnace, the work, everything, just to make sure that what they put in here really did the job. That was impressive to me. Well, the time came here in Oregon where we decided that this old house needed air conditioning. It was the year we hit the first heat dome, about 2 years ago. And we saw these temperatures being forecast. And I just looked at my husband and said, you know what, we're getting too old to sweat through 2 weeks of over 100. So bless his heart, we called Calvin. He knew exactly what kind of unit we needed. And they worked so hard to get that thing in before the heat dome hit, and he made it. We sat here in 108 degrees outside in Corvallis in beautiful, cool air and felt like total winners because they had made it happen. But maybe the best story of all is that we also put in a gas fireplace in our bedroom, and it needed to be hooked up, and Calvin was going to do that, but we knew it was the week before Christmas, so we didn't expect that really to happen. Yet, who do I see on Christmas Eve in my driveway? Calvin Rice, and he's hooking up the fireplace, and he said, I just wanted this done for you for Christmas. And I thought, you can't say much more about great service, caring about you beyond and above what your real need is. And then also timeliness. If you call these people, and we would always usually call at 7:30 in the morning if something wasn't right, somebody answers the phone and they say, we'll call you back. And they do within an hour or two and tell you when and where you're scheduled. And then they show up when they say they're scheduled. And if they're running behind or something comes up, they call you and let you know that, so that you're not sitting there wondering if you're going to see this service person. So I can't say enough about this company. The best service we've ever had, and for over 35 years, and we've seen them grow and grow during that time. And then secondly, the timeliness of their showing up is just spectacular. There's not a thing wrong. Every single one of their people is somebody I felt I could trust it in my home. As they came in, they made sure they put on their little sock things. They made sure they didn't do anything to my house that made it dirty. I can't say enough about them. I wanted to say something about Calvin's prices from his company and also his products, because we've had to buy several things, a furnace and an air conditioning unit. And honestly, we're about saving money like everybody else is, but we also don't want to skimp on having that product or that service fail us in any way. So when Calvin prices us out with a product that he recommends for us, and his service that it'll cost to put it in, what we've discovered, because we've actually comparison shopped a little bit against some of the other services, is that Calvin's is not the most expensive. Neither is it the cheapest, but it's always the best service. It's pretty much in the middle. But what I really like is that the product always really fits the needs of this house. He seems to really understand our ductwork and how our system works. And his service is well within the moderate range. So I know I'm not getting overcharged and I'm getting phenomenal service as well as a product that really works for us.